Becca's Zipper 96 back here for another video for y'all today. Today I'm just going to be talking about something that has crossed my mind for the past little while since the news broke about it. But before I go any further, we're going to pack a dip. We're going to pack some Grizzly Wintergreen. So if you got your dip, grab your dip. If you got your chew, grab your chew. If you don't dip, thumbs up to you. Thank you for coming back to the channel. I know some of y'all don't dip, and that's alright about me. And I'm not packing a big dip just because I'm going to be talking a lot about all of it. So, alright, so real quick, I'm going to give you an update about work, and then we're going to get right into the video. So I work's tomorrow, 2 to 10, Saturday, and then I work Sunday, and then I'll be off on Monday. I'm doing training, so tomorrow at least, as far as like watching. Oh, God damn it, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm getting sidetracked. So that's just a little update about that. But what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the whole college football realignment, or just all the conferences in general. First one we're going to talk about has Virginia Tech in it, the ACC. So ACC added 3 schools. 2 from the Pac-12, 1 from the American Conference. 2 from California. Before we go into the 2 schools from California, the one team that was swooped up in the ACC was SMU. That team is from Texas, the Mustangs. So now into the California schools. They added Cal and they added Stanford. I don't think they should have done that due to the fact that travel. Because the ACC is Atlantic Coast Conference. It's supposed to be all East Coast teams. Which, adding them 3 schools in, it's now Virginia Tech, Virginia, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Miami, Florida State, UNC, NC State, Duke, Boston College, Syracuse, SMU, Cal, and Stanford. And I think I'm getting one. Am I? Oh, yeah. Pitt was added to it a couple years and years back when the Big East deformed as far as the football landscape goes, because I'll get into that in a minute. So now on to the SEC. So y'all all should know the SEC, what teams are in there. They added in Oklahoma and Texas. And they had Texas, Texas A&M. So pretty much, if you think about it, Texas A&M was in, I think, the Big 10? No, Big 12. Or whatever that conference is that had Oklahoma and Texas in it and everything. That's cool. I mean, they're not far apart, and it's not going to be like, for example, let's just say Virginia Tech has to, well, actually this year they have to. Virginia Tech has to go to Cal or Stanford. That's a cross-country trip. And you got to remember, they got to take all the helmets, all their gear, all their uniforms, and all that hoopla. I think adding Texas and Oklahoma would be somewhat okay. But now I'm gonna get into the Big Ten. Okay, so Big Ten was Purdue, Maryland, Rutgers, because obviously I have the Rutgers poster from when they joined the Pac-10, the Big Ten. When did they join? 2014, I think. Yeah, 2014. So back to all the teams. It's Michigan, Wisconsin, Purdue, Rutgers, Michigan State, Michigan. I think I said Michigan twice. I don't know if I did or not. If I did, I apologize. Penn State, Ohio State. I think I said Wisconsin. If I didn't, Wisconsin's in there. Minnesota, and all of them. So the teams they added was USC and UCLA. I mean, don't get me wrong. They should have just stayed in the Pac-12, which I will get to that conference in a second. I think they should have stayed out there, just due to the fact that if you think about it, say UCLA have to come to Pitt, or well, not Pitt, Penn State. That's probably almost the same amount, maybe more, travel back and forth. Travel is going to be crappy. Well, jet lag, more or less. Money, because you're going to have to fork out a lot of money for that stuff. So, I think they should have just left well enough alone. Now on to the Pac-12, which is now down to 2 teams. Wait, hold on. Before I get to the back to the Pac-12, now the Pac-2, about to be the Pac-6 because of just the new schools, but I'll get to that in a minute. So, Big Ten also added, they added UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon. So, I think the travel is going to be bad. The money, the spending, as much spending the money each school has to spend to travel is going to be bad. Now on to the Pac-12. Was the Pac-2, now the Pac-6, come 2026. Now, I will tell you this, by NCAA rules, for the school to be a Power 5 school, you have to at least have 8 teams in it. Right now, Pac-12 has 2, Washington State and Oregon State. Now, here's the funny part. And I'm going to use what the dude said in the video I watched. The Pac-12, Pac-2, Pac-6, whatever you want to call it, has went into the Mountain West and poached or agreed to take some teams. Here's the teams. Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, and it's one more, I think. I'm trying to think. It was Washington State and Oregon State, Boise State, San Diego State. Hold on, let me look it up. Hold on. I wish I had iOS 18 on this phone because you can pause stuff on this now, on the iOS 18 update. I'm just gonna look up new teams joining the Pac-12. New teams joining the Pac-12. See if that'll work. Okay, so the teams that are... Okay, this is what it says on Google if you look it up. Just look up new teams joining the Pac-12. In a surprising move, Wednesday night news, blah, 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 Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State will leave the Mountain West Conference to join Oregon State and Washington State in the Pac-12 to the 2026-2027 season. Now, with the Pac-12, if they want to be a Power 5 school, they're going to have to pretty much, basically in later terms, poach from another conference. Now, this is the problem with that. If they're going to poach, they're going to have to poach out the American Athletic Conference. And the names that have creeped up for far as possibly joining is Memphis, North Texas, and a few other schools. They should have just left, like I said, I think they should have just left the conferences just where they were. And why I say that is I think they should have done it like this. I think each team should have talked to the conference. It was like, hey, instead of joining their conference, why don't we have at least 1 to 2 schools from another conference on our schedule? But hey, NCAA makes the rules. It's their decision. Not only their decision, but the conference's decisions. Now, with the Pac-12, with the 4 schools that I told you that were joining in the 2026-2027 season, if the Pac-12 wants to let another 1 to 2 teams join, the conferences that are going to be in the Pac-12 can say, no, we don't want Wyoming or the school in Vegas. And just so you know, Nevada has their own school. It's actually two schools in Nevada, as far as I know, big schools, and that's UNLV and Nevada. They're both in the Mountain West as of right now. But when it comes time for the Pac-12, they're probably going to try to add them 2 schools or try to take from the American Athletic Conference. I think like I said, I think they should have just left well enough alone and just said, hey, we'll let you schedule whoever you want from whatever conference or whatever conference you were going to join and you're not going to join, we'll let you have it on your schedule. So say, for example, Stanford. Stanford wants to play Virginia Tech and Virginia, or Virginia Tech and Clemson, for example. Okay, keep all the schools that they play that are in their conference on their schedule, but try to rearrange the schedule. Say Stanford plays Virginia Tech at the week 1. Well, wait until week 8, week 10, week 12 to have them play another school from the ACC or whatever school is going to try to go to that conference. Because I can tell you, this whole realignment of the schools is all, to me, I'm not too fond of it. But in some terms, I am okay with it due to the fact that more television deals, more revenue coming in for the schools, more revenue coming in for the conferences, because the conferences get money for the schools being in their conference. Like, for example, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech has to pay the ACC to stay in the ACC. And if nobody knew, Virginia Tech was part of the Big East. That's why they have a Virginia Tech-West Virginia rivalry. Speaking of West Virginia, I wanted to tell you about this. So the same year, I think it was the same year that Rutgers joined the Big Ten, West Virginia joined the Big 12. Like I said, all the schools going to have to pay the conference for their spot, obviously. But with some of the schools, with how much revenue they bring in from TV deals, the games, basketball games, football games, what have you, they're bringing in a good chunk of money in revenue. But they have to pay the ACC so much money to keep their spot in the conference. And just a little side note on this, on Clemson and Florida State, they're right now they're in a legal battle with the ACC because they want to leave. Now, by speculation, and this is just speculation from what I've been listening and hearing and all this, Clemson and Florida State want to join the SEC. Now, I can see Clemson joining the SEC because of the Clemson-South Carolina rivalry, but I don't think Florida State should join. I don't think they should try to stay in this legal battle. Now, this is just my honest opinion on it. I don't think they should stay in the legal battle because of the in-state rivalry with Miami and Florida. And don't get me wrong, I do like Florida. I do love the Florida Gators, not going to lie, because they're Gators, and a lot of people have some teams that are FCS schools, or they're not good. I'm not saying they're not good, they're good, but they don't have the players like Florida has. They go into the swamp and they lose. That's why they call it the swamp. But I think this whole college realignment thing, to me, is just hoopla. It's pointless, because the travel, which is what I mean by travel, like I was trying to say before, the traveling. The player's going to have jet lag. The head coach is going to have jet lag. All the players, all the coaches, whoever goes and spectates and has to go cross country are going to have jet lag. Now, it doesn't go, like I was saying, it's not a bad idea to do this realignment thing, but at the same time, money is going to be a problem. The players are going to be jet lagged. The travel and how much money they're going to be spending, how many weeks they have to go on the road. And don't get me wrong, West Virginia is a good team. Don't get me wrong on that. The Mountaineers, they're a good team. Marshall, good team. I mean, Virginia Tech went to Marshall last year, lost. Marshall came to us and we beat them this year. We lost against Vanderbilt. But won against Marshall. And this Saturday they play Old Dominion. I don't know the time, but I will post something in the community post of what the score was at halftime and the score was at the end of the game. Possibly. But I think I work 12 to 8 on Saturday, so it just gives or take when I get off of work and if I'm tired or not. But this is just my opinion on the whole college realignment thing. I just wanted to give my opinion on it. My opinion, I don't know who's going to agree. If you do agree to all the pros and cons of what I've said about the whole college realignment thing and what's just happening with the Pac-12, in the comments below, please put a 100. Don't put 100%, but put the 100 emoji telling me you agree, basically. And honestly, don't be afraid to comment your opinion on the whole college realignment. Now, if it's anything negative, either the comment will be deleted or your account will be reported. That's all I gotta say. If you ain't dipping your tripping, keep cracking, keep packing up the seat on the dip side. Stay positive, always think positive, never think negative, never things will come your way. Always think and stay positive, and positive things will come in your heart and in your mind. Hope you have a great day, great night, wherever you're watching this. And if I don't see you, I'll see you on the dip side. America.